Hi, folks. Chris Voss here from the Chris Voss Show.com, the Chris Voss Show.com. Coming with a blog post I want to share with you. Of course, we review the latest in social media and technology, reviewing the newest Mailbox app. And we, of course, waited in line like many people are. They kind of have this interesting new way of presenting, and I'm sure that more of the startups will adopt this sort of concept where you get to see where you are online as opposed to just waiting for an email that comes and says you're finally able to get in. It seems to create a lot of angst and a lot of interest and a lot of people that keep playing with your app or following with your app to see if they actually get that exclusive pullback of the velvet rope to say you are now allowed in. Pretty interesting concept. Some people complain they've deleted the apps. There's one other app that's doing it. I forget the name of it. It starts with a T. I think it's Tango, something like that. I think they're a weather app or kind of a Google Now app. But anyway, I'm sure more companies will do it. It seems to have been fairly successful for them. And I finally got in. So let me tell you what my thoughts are, given as there's quite a bit of hype behind this, and you can determine whether or not it's worth waiting in line for. So, I've got to tell you, what you really have to do when you look at most of these email programs that are out there is you really have to look at how you use your email and how you process with it. Now, some people find incredible success by segmenting their emails into different lists where they put them into different categories, et cetera, et cetera. They tag them, they label them, all that sort of good stuff. One of my problems I have is if I don't see it, it doesn't get done. So I actually use my email as a task list. I sit down with it, and every day I work it up and down and make sure that all the important points and emails are answered, replied to, and that something is done to them. Anything that shows as, you can even see the blue ones here, as not being read with the blues there on the side, are things that I either I'm going to get to later. I may never get to them because probably they're going to be like articles like these are or something that's unimportant. And I'm going to find all my stuff through search. So you may want to ask yourself if you're a person who segments into lists and areas and archives, different things. And if you are, Mailbox is probably for you. If you're like me, Mailbox probably isn't. And I'm probably going to go back to using my Gmail web access that I use for, I just have the home icon for Gmail and it uses the web access, and I like that much better than I like even the Gmail app. So it really depends on how you use it, but let's talk about how it works and everything else. You have this middle icon which will feed you all of your emails in a big lump bunch. You can see here some stars. As you can see here, the ones that are in red are marked in blue. Now, coming over here to the menu items, we have a mailbox, which is all the mailbox. Looks like it's pulling in 11,000 for my Gmail. You have things that you can mark as later. You have lists that you can take and make, archive, trash, stuff you sent, and you've got settings. Let's take a look at the settings here. Now, the settings, we can have different email accounts, default signature you can see here you can take and make. You can go in and make different lists that you want to take and do, so that's great. You've got snoozes, so you can start your day to get attacked by your email at whenever you decide you want to take and get it, which is nice because you don't want your phone going off all night. So that's kind of nice. Sync preferences as to what you can do with syncs. Notifications for new messages. Now, one of the pains in the butts that I didn't like about it is it automatically pushes me a notification whenever an email comes in. Not sure I'm excited about that. Most of my emails can wait until I get to them. Now, app badge count. I'm not really sure what that is. When you figure it out, you let me know. Send me an email. I'm not sure it's something I need to care about. I'm pretty sure about that, so I'm going to run with it. And if you don't like it, well, the hell with you. So let's take a look at writing an email. The writing of an email is very interesting. It's got a beautiful layout. It's very well thought out. You can't knock it for that. You can add in your contacts. You can add in, of course, your photos to this thing. Now, that's probably better for me because one of the limits that I have with the Gmail web app is I can't upload a photo. Now, I can go into the photos and email out of there, kind of the backhanded way, but this is another way of doing it. Maybe you would call this the front-ended way, or at least I would. So you can, make your thing here. You can put in your contacts, all that sort of good stuff. Now, The essence of it is much like if you saw the Clear app and some of these other slider apps that have these cool little slide techniques that if you slide a certain way, it does a certain thing, and we didn't even really want to do that. I want to put that back in. You can see here that I have two columns. I have the later column, and I have the it's done or archive column. You can kind of see them. There's the icon, archive, and later. If I can learn how to say that. Now, there's 4 different slide mechanisms. If you slide, I think very shortly, you get the save for later thing. Now, when you save for later, this pops up, will come up, and you can save for later today, this evening, tomorrow, in a month, next week, this weekend, someday. Pick a date. Too bad they don't have one that says, "Don't reply to this idiot." Blah blah blah. So if we come over here. Oh, I didn't save that, so it's not going to put it in that column. But normally that would be my save to later column that I would have there. Now, if you do a long swipe, as they call it, you can see here it changes to a color which is indicative of the icon to be a list unit. And I'm sure that this would drop down if I had some lists and ask me which lists I would want to take in half. And there you see it. I'm not going to click one, so it's probably going to put it back for me. So you also have the swipe the other way. And if you swipe it, you can see it's green with the check mark. That would mean that it's going to go into my archive box. Most likely I got done. And I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to put it back. You can see here it's got a lot of swiping ability to it. This is a really cool and key feature of it that I'll let you decide if it's enough of a GUIS function for you. Now, if you slowly slide or do what they call a long slide, it turns to orange, which is a delete. And if you could see the X over my thumb there, this would delete the email. And I hope that was an email that I wanted. But look at this. I can go back into the trash, and if I swipe it, looks like it will put it, I think it put it back in my archives, didn't it? And I want to go back to my middle box there. Okay, so now I'll be able to check out that email later. And so it's very interesting that way. One thing that is a kind of bummer about it, let's see, you can see here that when I'm reading the email, I can hit the X to delete, I can hit this to archive it, I can hit this to move it to later. I can hit this to move it to lists. And it looks like after a certain time, it's showing that I've gone ahead and read it, and it's asking me if I want to make the decision to delete it. And I'm going to just put it right back in my mailbox. Unfortunately, it doesn't mark it as unread. One thing I do like about my Gmail web app is that when I want something left unread, even though I've read it, it's a way for me to tell my task list that, hey, I want to get back to that and either get an answer or finish it. So I'm able to put it up as an unread dealio. Looks like it's all coming back to me now. So I don't really know that there's a way for me to make it unread. Is there? That's a reply to all, forward, so we have those functions. Now, one thing we did notice about it that I really did like is the way it played, like YouTube videos were presented, very cool. And I like the way the YouTube videos came out. Let's see if we can find those in my trash box. And the YouTube videos, I'll show you this. Definitely, this presents much better than the way it presents in the Gmail application, and I really kind of liked how it presented itself here. So from that visual aspect, I kind of liked it. Is it a reason for me to switch over? I don't think so. And like I said, you really want to sit down with your how do you use your Gmail or your email? In this case, yeah, it should be your Gmail. How do you use it, and what do you use it for? Do you really need all this other stuff? Because my problem is, I got to tell you, if I put something in later, lists, archive, or trash, or sent, I will never see it again because I'm just that way. It's either in here, or it's deleted, or it's read. And if it's read, that means it's taken care of. So ask yourself which way works best for you. It's a nice little app, but was it worth waiting for? No. So the hype did not measure up to the worth the wait. I expected something really, really cool that would do some different things. And I've actually seen a few things that are web-based that can do much more. So enjoy waiting in line. It's not worth waiting for, in my mind. It'll be cool when you get it, but I don't think you're missing any boats and shouldn't gnash your teeth and go, I can't get in. It's just another app. So Thanks for coming by the ChrisVossShow.com. Be sure to subscribe and check back often.